Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Reading Journey podcast, where we help you improve your English reading skills. I'm Linda.
And I'm Leo. We're so excited to have you here with us today. Whether you're just starting out or you've been learning English for a while, we've got something for you.
That's right, Leo. Today, we're going to start with the basics of reading skills. Reading is such an important part of learning a new language, and we want to make it fun and easy for you.
Yes, Linda, reading helps you understand the language better, learn new words, and improve your grammar. Plus, it's a great way to enjoy stories and learn about different cultures.
Exactly. So, let's dive in. What do we mean by reading skills?
Well, reading skills are the abilities that help you read and understand texts. This includes knowing the letters and sounds, recognizing words, and understanding sentences and paragraphs.
That's right. And it's not just about reading the words. It's also about understanding what you read. We call this comprehension.
Comprehension is a big word, but it just means understanding the meaning of the text. When you read, you want to know what the story is about or what information is being given.
Absolutely, Leo. And there are many strategies to help with comprehension. For example, you can look at the pictures in a book to get clues about the story.
Yes, pictures can be very helpful, and another tip is to read out loud. This can help you hear the words and understand them better.
Great tip, Leo. Reading out loud can also help with pronunciation and fluency. It makes you more confident in speaking English too.
That's true. And if you find a word you don't know, don't worry. Try to guess its meaning from the other words around it. This is called context.
Context is like a puzzle. You use the other pieces, the other words, to figure out the meaning of the word you don't know. It's a great skill to practice.
And don't forget, it's okay to ask for help. If you have a teacher, a friend, or even a dictionary, use them to find out the meaning of new words.
Definitely. Learning is a journey, and it's okay to ask for directions along the way. Now, let's talk about different types of reading materials.
Good idea, Linda. There are so many things you can read to practice your English. You can read books, magazines, newspapers, and even websites.
Yes, and don't forget about stories, poems, and plays. They can be very enjoyable and full of interesting language.
Stories are especially good because they have characters, plots, and settings that can make reading more engaging and fun.
Absolutely. And for beginners, starting with children's books can be very helpful. They usually have simple language and lots of pictures.
Yes, children's books are great for building your confidence. And as you get better, you can try more challenging books.
Another good idea is to read the same book or story more than once. Each time, you'll understand a little more and notice new things.
That's a great point, Linda. Repetition helps reinforce what you've learned and makes it easier to remember.
And don't forget about online resources. There are many websites and apps that can help you improve your reading skills with interactive exercises and fun activities.
Yes, technology can be a great tool for learning. Just make sure to choose resources that are suitable for your level.
Good advice, Leo. So, to sum up, reading skills are all about understanding the text, using context to figure out new words, and practicing with different types of materials.
Exactly, Linda, and remember, reading should be fun. The more you enjoy it, the more you'll learn.
That's right. Now we'll talk about some specific strategies to help you become a better reader.
We can't wait to share those tips with you. So stay tuned and keep practicing your reading skills.
Okay, now, let's dive deeper into some specific strategies you can use to improve your reading.
Yes, Linda, one of the first strategies we want to talk about is previewing. This means looking over a text before you start reading it carefully.
Exactly. When you preview a text, you look at the title, headings, pictures, and any bold or italicized words. This gives you an idea of what the text is about and what to expect.
Previewing helps you set a purpose for reading. For example, if you're reading an article about animals, you might look for specific information like their habitats or diets.
Another great strategy is skimming. Skimming is when you quickly read through a text to get the main idea without reading every word.
Right. When you skim, you're looking for the overall message or the most important points. This can save you time, especially when you're reading something long.
And don't forget about scanning. Scanning is when you look for specific information in a text, like dates, names, or keywords.
Yes, scanning is very useful. For example, if you're looking for a specific date in an article, you can scan the text to find it quickly.
Now, let's talk about making predictions. When you read, try to guess what will happen next or what information will be given. This keeps you engaged and helps with comprehension.
Making predictions is like being a detective. You're using clues from the text to guess what will come next. This makes reading more interactive and fun.
Another important strategy is visualizing. This means creating mental images of what you're reading. It helps you understand and remember the text better.
Yes, visualizing is like making a movie in your mind. If you're reading a story about a sunny beach, imagine the sun, the sand, and the waves.
And don't forget about making connections. Try to connect what you're reading to your own experiences, other books, or things you know.
Making connections helps you relate to the text and understand it on a deeper level. For example, if you're reading about a character who loves soccer, think about your own experiences with sports.
Another helpful strategy is asking questions. While you read, ask yourself questions about the text. What is the main idea? Why did the character do that? What might happen next?
Asking questions keeps you engaged and helps you think more deeply about the text. It also helps you remember what you read.
And remember to summarize what you've read. After finishing a paragraph or a section, try to put the main ideas into your own words.
Summarizing helps you check your understanding and remember the key points. It's a great way to reinforce your learning.
Now, let's talk about inferring. Inferring means reading between the lines to understand what is not directly stated.
Yes, inferring is like being a detective again. You're looking for clues and using your knowledge to understand the hidden meaning.
Another important strategy is annotating. This means taking notes or highlighting important information while you read.
Annotating helps you focus on key points and makes it easier to review the text later. You can underline important sentences, write questions in the margins, or highlight new vocabulary.
Speaking of vocabulary, another great strategy is to keep a vocabulary journal. Write down new words you encounter while reading and their meanings.
Yes, and try to use those new words in sentences. This helps reinforce your learning and makes it easier to remember them.
And don't be afraid to reread. If you don't understand something the first time, read it again. Sometimes reading a text multiple times can help you understand it better.
That's a great point, Linda. Rereading can also help you notice details you might have missed the first time.
Now, let's talk about using context clues. When you encounter a new word, look at the words around it to help figure out its meaning.
Yes, context clues are like hints that help you understand new words. For example, if you read, "The cake was delicious and moist," and you don't know the word moist, you can guess it means something good about the cake.
Another strategy is to read aloud. Hearing the words can help you understand and remember them better.
Yes, reading aloud can also improve your pronunciation and fluency. It's a great way to practice speaking English.
And don't forget to practice regularly. The more you read, the better you'll get. Try to read a little every day, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Consistency is key. Make reading a part of your daily routine. You can read a book, an article, or even a comic strip.
And remember, it's okay to choose reading materials that interest you. If you enjoy what you're reading, you'll be more motivated to read.
That's so true, Linda. Reading should be enjoyable, so pick topics and genres that you like.
And lastly, don't be afraid to join a reading group or book club. Discussing what you read with others can give you new insights and make reading more fun.
Yes, sharing your thoughts and hearing others' perspectives can deepen your understanding and make reading a social activity.
So, to sum up, there are many strategies you can use to improve your reading skills: previewing, skimming, scanning, making predictions, visualizing, making connections, asking questions, summarizing, inferring, annotating, keeping a vocabulary journal, rereading, using context clues, reading aloud, practicing regularly, choosing interesting materials, and joining reading groups. Yes, that is right. And now we'll talk about some common challenges in reading and how to overcome them.
I hope you found these strategies helpful. Keep practicing, and you'll see improvement in your reading skills.
That's right, Leo. Also, reading can be difficult, especially when you're learning a new language. But don't worry, we're here to help you tackle those challenges.
Yes, Linda, one of the first challenges learners often face is vocabulary. Sometimes you come across many new words that you don't understand.
Exactly, Leo. When you encounter a new word, it can slow you down and make reading frustrating. But there are ways to handle this.
One effective strategy is to use context clues. Look at the words and sentences around the new word to guess its meaning.
Yes, context clues can be very helpful. For example, if you read, "She wore a somber expression at the funeral," you might guess that somber means something serious or sad because of the context.
Another tip is to keep a vocabulary journal. Write down new words and their meanings as you read. Review your journal regularly to reinforce your learning.
That's a great idea, Leo. And if you have access to a dictionary, use it. There are many online dictionaries and apps that can help you quickly find the meanings of new words.
Another common challenge is understanding grammar and sentence structure. English sentences can sometimes be complex and confusing.
Yes, but don't let that discourage you. Start with simpler texts and gradually move to more complex ones. Pay attention to how sentences are constructed and try to mimic them in your writing.
Breaking down complex sentences into smaller parts can also help. Look for the main subject and verb first, and then see how the other parts of the sentence relate to them.
That's a good strategy, Leo. Another challenge learners face is lack of motivation. Sometimes it can be hard to stay motivated to read regularly.
Yes, staying motivated can be tough, but it's important. One way to stay motivated is to set small, achievable goals. For example, aim to read for just 10 minutes a day at first.
And choose materials that interest you. If you enjoy what you're reading, you're more likely to stick with it. Whether it's a novel, a magazine, or even a comic book, pick something that you find engaging.
Another way to stay motivated is to join a reading group or book club. Discussing what you've read with others can make the experience more enjoyable and give you different perspectives.
Yes, sharing your thoughts and hearing others can make reading more fun and rewarding. Another common challenge is limited time. Many learners struggle to find time to read.
That's true, Linda, but even if you're busy, you can still fit reading into your schedule. Try reading during your commute, before bed, or even during lunch breaks.
Yes, and remember that you don't have to read for hours at a time. Even short, regular reading sessions can be very beneficial.
Another challenge is difficulty concentrating. Sometimes it can be hard to focus on reading, especially if you're tired or distracted.
That's a common issue, Leo. One way to improve concentration is to create a comfortable reading environment. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed.
Yes, and try to limit distractions, turn off the TV, put your phone on silent, and focus on your reading.
Taking regular breaks can also help. If you're reading for a long period, give yourself a short break every 20-30 minutes to rest and recharge.
That's a great tip, Linda. Another challenge is dealing with complex texts. As you progress, you'll encounter more difficult materials.
Yes, but don't be afraid of challenging texts. Break them down into smaller sections and take your time. Use a dictionary to look up difficult words and try to understand the main ideas first.
And remember, it's okay to reread a text multiple times. Each time you read it, you'll understand a little more.
Yes, rereading is a powerful tool. Another challenge is feeling overwhelmed by the amount of reading material available.
That's true, Linda. There are so many books, articles, and websites out there that it can be hard to know where to start.
One way to manage this is to create a reading list. Choose a few books or articles that interest you and focus on them first. Don't try to read everything at once.
Yes, having a reading plan can help you stay organized and focused. Another challenge is keeping up with new vocabulary.
Yes, learning new words can be overwhelming. But remember, you don't have to learn every new word at once. Focus on the most important words first.
And try to use new words in your speaking and writing. This will help you remember them better.
Another helpful tip is to practice active reading. This means engaging with the text as you read, highlight important points, take notes, and ask questions.
Active reading keeps your mind engaged and helps you understand and remember the material better.
And don't forget to review what you've read. After finishing a text, take a few minutes to summarize it in your own words. This reinforces your learning.
That's a great idea, Linda. Reviewing helps solidify your understanding and makes it easier to recall information later.
Another common challenge is feeling discouraged by slow progress. Learning a new language takes time, and it's easy to get frustrated.
Yes, but remember that progress is progress, no matter how slow. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small.
And don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Focus on your own journey and keep moving forward.
That's right, Linda. And finally, don't forget to have fun. Reading should be an enjoyable experience.
Absolutely, Leo. Find joy in the stories, the information, and the new worlds that reading opens up for you. That's right, Leo. Remember, every reader faces challenges, but with the right strategies, you can overcome them and become a better reader.
I hope you found these tips helpful. Keep practicing and don't give up. Reading is a journey, and we're here to support you every step of the way.
Thank you for joining us on the Reading Journey podcast. I hope you've enjoyed our podcast on improving your reading skills. And one last thing before we go, if you enjoyed this podcast, don't forget to share it with your friends and family who might also find it helpful. You can also leave a review and let us know what you think. Your feedback means a lot to us and helps us make our content even better. Thanks again for listening, and until next time, take care and keep learning. Next time, and happy reading.
Goodbye. See you in the next podcast. That's right, Linda. Try these strategies and see which ones work best for you. Remember, the goal is to make reading enjoyable and effective. So, to recap, we've talked about various challenges in reading and how to overcome them, dealing with new vocabulary, understanding grammar, staying motivated, finding time to read, concentrating, tackling complex texts, managing overwhelming amounts of material, keeping up with new vocabulary, practicing active reading, reviewing what you've read, and staying positive despite slow progress. Thanks for joining us. Keep reading, keep learning, and most importantly, keep enjoying the process.